somebody who really likes chocolate and really likes sweets, and I always had to eat something sweet during the day, or otherwise I thought I wouldn't survive through the day. But recently I wanted to lose a few pounds and I really struggled with that, so I came to an idea to just quit sugar. In the beginning I was suspicious. I was like, no way you're going to do it because you really like to eat sweets. But by using principles of neuroscience, I managed to do so. I managed to quit sugar, and I will share with you how I did it in today's video. Hi, I have a PhD in neuroscience, and on the channel Neuroproductivity, we talk about how to develop healthy habits and be more productive using principles of neuroscience. And in today's video, we'll be talking about how to use neuroscience to quit sugar. I just want to give a quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so before deciding to quit sugar, please consult your doctor to check if it's safe for you to do so. Let's start the video first by explaining why do we like to eat sugar, because most of the people, including myself, they really like sweets and they like to eat chocolate and they like to eat cakes and they like to eat candies. So I will first explain why is this the case. When we eat something sweet, when we eat sugar, what happens in our brain? The level of dopamine goes up. And what is dopamine? Dopamine is the hormone of happiness. Meaning when we eat something sweet, our hormone of happiness goes up and we are happier. And that is why most of the people like to eat sweets, because we like to feel happier. And what I ask myself, and you might ask me the same thing, if sugar is bad for human beings, why do we feel happier when we eat it? Well, this has a lot to do with evolution. Throughout most of the time in our evolution, food was scarce. When you eat sugar, you actually gain energy. The brain developed this mechanism of you eating sugar, you gaining energy, which is important for your body. That's why you will feel happier, in order to motivate human beings to go and seek for food. Back in the days, people had to run for hours, they need to hunt in order to eat. They also had to go around and gather food. And that was a difficult task, so they needed to be motivated to do so. And that is why the brain developed this mechanism of when you eat, and especially when you eat sugar, you will feel happier. Human beings learn, if I go to run and hunt for the food, or I go gather for food, I will manage to eat, and once I eat, I will feel happier. However, today, in most of the society, in most of the modern world, people have more than enough food. Actually, people have too much food. We end up, in the Western world, we end up wasting a lot of food. So you can eat sugar whenever you want, but you still have the same mechanism as if sugar was sparse. So you will still feel happier. And of course, back in the days, people were eating sugar just once in a while, so they would get the energy, it was useful for them. But nowadays, we can eat sugar much more, and we also spend less of that sugar, we spend less of that energy. Most of the people spend their days in the office, they don't move so much. Like back in the days, throughout most of the history, people had to work hard, they need to put physical effort in order to get food. But nowadays we just sit in our office, we get a salary, and then we go to the supermarket where we can buy all this sugar. So that is why today we have too much sugar around ourselves. We eat sugar much more often than our ancestors did, but our body are still similar and our need for sugar is still similar. And at the same time, our mechanisms, when you eat sugar, you will be happier. Now that you understand that sugar craving has to do a lot with the evolution, I will explain you how to resolve this problem and how I quit sugar. So in order to quit sugar, once I understood that it has something to do with my brain, that I crave sugar so much, I decided to try different options. So my first idea was to limit amount of sugar I was taking. I said to myself, you can have one chocolate bar per day and that's it. However, that didn't work out, because even if I would take one chocolate bar per day, I would oftentimes take a little bit more. For example, somebody would offer me chocolate and I would take one piece. Or I would come back home and still crave sugar and say to myself, okay, I had one chocolate bar, but I could have a little bit more. And this didn't work out, so I decided to just quit sugar altogether. Why did I decide to quit sugar altogether? I used the concept of decision fatigue. What is this concept now? What am I talking about? Meaning that when we have too many options, that's not good for our brain. So our brain will get tired from having too many options. And I know this sounds weird, because I always used to think myself, the more options I have, the better. And yes, that is true, but there is a certain limit, because with every option, your brain needs to process that option and also predict in the future what would that option, choosing that option, bring to you. Let's say if I choose option A, I will have this. If I choose B, this will happen. If I choose C, this will happen. D, this will happen. And when you go to the supermarket, and especially where I live, there is so many things in the supermarket, so many different types of vegetables, meat, cheese, And also there is a lot of types of sweets. When you go in the supermarket, your brain might be overwhelmed with getting all these choices and needing to make a good decision. And when your brain is tired, the brain might end up not making the right choice, but the easiest one. So let's say the brain might think, okay, I will just take something sweet because that will make me happier. Let's take something sweet. If the brain was more rested and more relaxed and having less options, maybe the brain would think, okay, I will eat vegetables because that will make me feel happier and that will make my body feel better in the long run. So for this reason, I decide not to have sweets and chocolate as an option anymore. So I say to myself when I go to the supermarket, okay, what are our options? Sweets are not one of the options, and my brain doesn't get to process this idea of eating something sweet. Because if my brain would get the idea, okay, I could eat something sweet, the brain might think, okay, now I eat chocolate and I will feel happier. Let's take chocolate. Instead, in this way, when I get to the sweets counter, I just pass by it because it's not an option. So in order to make my brain less tired when making decisions and thereby making it easier to make a healthy choice, I decided the sweets is just not an option for me. And this has been working quite well so far. In the beginning, I thought the less sweets I eat, the more I'm going to crave it. But actually, on the contrary, something else happened. Now that sweets are not an option for me, I don't think about it. I don't crave them. When I go to the supermarket, I will choose something healthier, and I am even planning to extend this to cut down salty snacks such as crackers, chips. Okay, chips I don't eat, but I do eat crackers, and they also have a lot of calories and are not healthy. So I'm planning to take it even further, this decision fatigue idea. Actually, that is why Steve Jobs, if you know the founder of Apple, he always used to wear the same t-shirt every day because he didn't want to waste his brain energy on making a decision every morning on what to wear, but he always used to wear the same thing. This might be a bit of an extreme example, but you can definitely use the option of decision fatigue for many different things in your life, and including cutting sweets. And if you want to learn how to do so, if you want to learn how to use this decision fatigue technique in your own benefit, I invite you to schedule a free 20-minute Zoom consultation with me where we can discuss about neural productivity, see what you will need, and if I could help you. The link to choose a 20-minute slot is in the comments down below. So you click on that link, you choose your 20-minute slot, and we can talk one-on-one on Zoom channel. And if you're curious about how to use neuroscience to be healthier and more productive and reach your goals in life, make sure to subscribe to this channel because I'm preparing many more fun videos for you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.